Hello everyone, my name is John Onwutaka. Today I want to share with us on some Bible principles for wealth. As I study the scriptures, I begin to see a lot of Bible principles that if applied to wealth creation, businesses, they will have such a dimension that, will marvel you. Please stay with me. Let's advance. The first one is located in Genesis chapter 8, verse 22. The Bible says, "While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, day and night shall not cease." From here, immediately I see three laws, three principles. The first one is seed time and harvest time. The second one is seasons. And the other one is day and night. Today, I will only dwell on seed time and harvest time. There are some deep wisdom that I intend to bring up here. Next time, I will go to the second one and we advance. There are several principles for wealth that I've seen in the scriptures, and I would love to share it with us. Let's advance. And so, the first one is seed time and harvest time. The second one is seasons, cold, heat, and winter, summer. The other one, of course, is day and night. I want to show you some secrets on this. And we are starting on seed time and the harvest. We'll look at it now. Another time, we are going to go to the next one. Let's start. Seed time and harvest time is a wealth principle. What does that mean? It is the principle of sowing and reaping. It is the law that says if you do not sow, you cannot reap. In our contemporary time, we'll call it investment. You have to make investment in order to expect return on investment, or in order to expect profit, or in order to expect dividend. You have to invest. You have to put something down in order for you to have something coming up. In those days, they are used to tilling the ground, agriculture. So there's a lot of sowing and reaping. Though many of them have livestock. So it's not like it is only a crop. And they all understood that you must have something. There must be a product, or there must be services that you produce, that you render for people to exchange their income with you. Let's move further. Seed time and harvest is what separates the poor from the wealthy. Why? If you do not sow, you will not reap. If you don't reap, you will not have something to exchange money. And that can either make you poor or make you wealthy. It is also the law that separates beggars from fraudsters, people that obtain through fraudulent means. If you don't have, you begin to beg. If you cannot beg, it simply means you begin to plan schemes to steal from people. Today you have all sorts of Ponzi schemes. People that specialize in either duping people, collecting money through fraudulent means, and so on and so forth. It's simply because they have missed this law. If you're having challenges with your income, can I ask you to look at this law again? Have you obeyed this law strictly? Have you tried to check whether your activities is in alignment with this law? Because if you are not sowing, then you cannot reap. That is the truth. If you go to the market, if you go to the shopping malls, the shops, all they have there is people's products that they are selling, and people are happy to exchange money with them. In several offices, banks, insurance, logistic companies, and so on, they provide all manner of services, and people are happy to pay. Again, if your finances is not great, begin to ask yourself, what products are you producing? What services are you rendering? If the services you are rendering is not such that is bringing you enough income, you can make some changes. Let's advance. Let's advance. Apart from the product people produce, apart from investment that people make in order to have something return, I want to talk about another one that is very important. And that is that you have to invest into yourself. You have to sow into yourself to become. There must be an investment in yourself in order to become. Investment in your mind, investment in skills that will make you to become. I'll give you an example. For one to be a boxer does not necessarily mean because somebody is strong. No. There are techniques. There are skills. You have to go learn. You have to go learn how to do it, the methods, the strategies. Otherwise, someone may enter the ring and not come out alive. For you to become a medical doctor, there is a body of knowledge that you are expected to acquire in order for you to be allowed to say that you become a doctor. For you to become an engineer, the same way. Therefore, it is important that you decide what you want to become. What do you want to become? And then understand what you have to sow so that you can become. It becomes an issue. If somebody say, I want to become this, but what the person is supposed to sow has not been put into, has not been put in. Of course, the person cannot becomes an issue. This brings me to another aspect of life. And that is, what do you sow? And where do you sow? Of course, you sow your time, your money, your talent. You sow all these things. And where do you sow them? Yes, we know of businesses. You want to sow into this business, you want to do this, that is great. Your mind also, you have to sow into your mind, because the quality of your mind will affect the output. Therefore, it is important that you take time to become wealthy inside. Can I say that wealth has so much to do with the quality of the mind? Wealth starts from the mind before it begins to come outside. If someone has a very wealthy mind, very rich mind, the mind has a big capacity, the person will not likely struggle with products that people will be happy to buy from that person. I want to also mention that the law of sowing and reaping is a universal law. That is to say, it is available to all. It's available to the poor. It's available to the wealthy. It's available to the young. Available to the old. Can I also shock you? It's available to your enemies. It's available to those people you don't like. It's available to everybody. The law of sowing and reaping. I want to take this to another level. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. The Bible said, do not be deceived, because God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that is what the man will reap. A man will reap what he sows. Putting it in another way, it simply means that a man will sow what he wants to reap. And that means you have choice in life. You have choice to decide what to sow. Is it not better that you decide what you want to reap so that you will sow what will make you to reap that? And so, you have choice in deciding what you want to reap. You can decide the output from the beginning. You can decide the output from the beginning. You decide what you want to reap. You decide what you want to become. And then you sow it. And then, of course, you will get there. Can I also tell you another thing that is beautiful about this law? This law is beautiful because it brings the opportunity to change. That is to say, if you don't like the output you are getting, then change the input. Because once you make changes in the input, you begin to get a better output. If you are a poor man, it simply means what you sowed yesterday was poverty. And so you are reaping, that proceeds. For you to become wealthy, you have to change what you are sowing. Sow the seed of wealth, and wealth will follow. If you are not a doctor, you want to become a doctor, what does it mean? Go back to school. I've seen people that studied engineering, and at the end of the day, they say, no, I want to become a medical doctor. What did they do? They went back to school to learn medicine. Eventually, they become. And so that is the beauty of this law, that you can change. Another thing that you can also see in this law is that there is a trajectory. You can decide a trajectory. And so, if I see somebody's farm, I can already predict the outcome of the harvest, either because the the plants are not growing very well, or there are weeds choking the plants, that is a trajectory. And of course, if you vary the trajectory, the output will change. These are all the things that are loaded in this. Another thing I see here is accountability, choice. You have the right to decide. You have the right to determine. And so you are accountable. If it will be, it depends on me. If I will become a poor man, it depends on me. If I will become a wealthy man, it depends on me. If I will become a doctor, it depends on me. If I will become a lawyer, it depends on me. If I will become a great CEO, it depends on me. It's a choice, but you are accountable to it. You are accountable to your life. Whatever you decide, it will depend on you to implement it, to sow it. Why? Because there is a process of life. There is a process of life, and many things follows the order of life. It takes a woman 9 months to produce a baby. Please, if you are expecting to become wealthy overnight, that may lead you into fraudulent practices. It's only thieves that become wealthy overnight because they just go boggle a bank, yes, plenty money. But other than that, it takes the normal process. You must plant, you must nurture, you must wait for it to grow and bear fruit in order for harvest to come. That is the order of life. Wealth is not automatic. Wealth is not overnight. But you can already begin to sow. You can already begin to make investments. You can decide what to invest. Like I mentioned, everybody has access. This law is a universal law that is available to all. In closing, I want to again remind us that we have choice to decide our output. And we have choice to invest into ourselves. The investment you made into yourself will ensure you have a better investment out there in order to get a better result. I hope that this principle has brought some light that will help you to review what you have been doing, possibly identify areas that you need to improve, either improving in the quality, the capacity, the content, the values in your mind, which will indeed affect everything. Or maybe it has also shown you that you need to review what you are investing in order to have a better result. If you've enjoyed this, you can drop me a note. Send to anybody that you think may benefit from this. See you in the next video. My name remains John Omutaka. Thank you.